isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, welcome in, race fans. This is a new one for this evening. The WRL Cup Series has invited us to broadcast their round 4 at Echo Park, just south of Atlanta in Hampton, Georgia. This is the Home Depot 143, the WRL Cup Series. I'm Rob Campbell. This is Racer Nexus. In the booth with me will be Stan Hammonds too as well, my resident NASCAR specialist. So Stan, I know this track is kind of in your backyard in Hampton, Georgia. I was just reading up actually before we were talking about doing the race earlier on, and I didn't realize that the track actually got damaged back in 2005 by a tornado. I think I read $40 million worth of damage back then.
Yeah, it sure did. We had a big tornado blow through kind of right around the same time Hurricane Katrina happened, and there used to be a bunch of grandstands on the backstretch that all got blown down. The condos that are standing super tall out of turn 4, those were all super badly damaged, and it was really a question at the time of whether or not the track would be in raceable condition when NASCAR came back that October. I think they used to come in late October in those days, and they got it done, but I remember it was a big deal when it happened, and it was very memorable. So it's in a lot better shape now most of the time.
I've raced the old version on iRacing, and I gotta say I like the new version here, definitely, since they renamed it Echo Park too as well. Did they rename it at the same time that they did the rebuild, or was that something that happened later on or more recently?
No, the Echo Park things happened in like the last 2 or 3 months.
Oh, really?
It's a very new thing. Like when they raced here in the spring, it was still Atlanta Motor Speedway, but for the summer race, the night race that they had back in June, I think it had been renamed to Echo Park Speedway. So that's a pretty new development. Not totally unheard of with NASCAR and their tracks to hand out naming rights like that, but the first time for Atlanta that it's ever been called anything but Atlanta Motor Speedway, or previously it was Atlanta International Raceway way back when.
Back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, but
yeah, back when dinosaurs and Richard Petty were still racing. Yeah,
back when real men raced race cars. But we should should take and make mention of the driver we're following around here, Chris Toppings. He's the actual driver that has funded the broadcast here this evening, trying to show the rest of the league what could possibly be here with a broadcast. So thank you, Christopher, for getting a hold of us and getting us on board, and we actually threw them up in there in the race info. But here's our conditions we got here tonight, Stan. 70-degree air temp, 96-degree Fahrenheit track temp. How's that going to play a role here with our drivers only having 2 sets of spare tires?
Well, that's what's so funny about this racetrack. It's a super speedway, so you think you can run it wide open like you would at Daytona or Talladega or something like that. And at those racetracks, tires aren't really a factor. The ambient conditions aren't really a factor. You just let it rip at those racetracks. This track, you can't do that. The corners are such a tighter radius than those racetracks that you actually will find yourself lifting and doing tire management throughout the course of the run, and you'll be able to tell who has saved their tires and who hasn't. You won't be able to rip the bottom the whole run unless you're running relatively slowly. You'll see a lot of guys washing up. You'll see a lot of guys getting loose and spinning on their own, which before they reconfigured Atlanta was just unheard of at super speedways post 1987. Once they started putting restrictor plates on the cars. So this track is very unique, and the track temp isn't really too hot, but it's not going to matter. You know, people are going to be getting excited. Everybody's going to be on top of each other for the whole run. They're going to be in dirty air, having to put more wheel into it to make the corners. And they're just going to wear their stuff out whether they want to or not. So it's going to be really entertaining, and you're going to be able to tell within about 10 laps of who's done a good job of managing their resources and who is going to be struggling to the first yellow or green flag pit if we get one.
So, sorry, you were saying Atlanta is pretty hard on tires now since the resurfacing, or has it been a little easier than it has been in the past?
You know, it's better than it was. They used to describe Atlanta's surface as that of like a cheese grater back before they repaved it and reconfigured it. It's not quite that bad now, but because of the draft, because you're having to put more wheel into the car to make the corner, you have less downforce on the nose helping you out unless you're the leader. You're working the tires pretty hard. It's a pretty unique situation. It's unlike any other racetrack that NASCAR goes to, and it's going to be a challenge. You'll see guys that burn the fronts off, you'll see guys that burn the rears off, and everything in between. So it's going to be really, really interesting throughout the whole race.
We were talking off camera. It's a 95 lap race. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but so you're expecting possibly two stops depending for fuel, depending how the yellow flags kind of roll in this one. Would you be taking tires every time if it was you out there, Stan, or would you maybe try and save them towards the end, potentially if there's like a late stop, maybe 5 laps to go at the end, put some fresh rubber on and go for the win?
Yeah, with it being 2 sets of tires, I mean, it's very unlikely. I think it's unlikely. I don't know. I've never seen this league race before. These guys might be awesome, but typically you don't see green flag pit stops at Atlanta on iRacing. Usually there is a yellow flag that will be at a good interval to go get some tires and go put some gas in the car. It should only have to be a 1 stop, but if the same guy leads the pack for a while and he's actually running it wide open the whole time, fuel-wise, it could turn into a 2 stop for that guy. But generally, with the lifting in the corners and the draft that everybody's going to have to do, I would expect for fuel, it should only have to be 1 stop. But with tires, you know, if I got a yellow around lap 30, 35, something like that, I'd go get some tires for sure. I'd try to space it out where I could have pretty much the same amount of laps on every set of tires that I could. But, you know, it's going to be, if it did go green and guys are only pitting once, then they are going to be struggling at the end of their runs for sure.
So I guess ideally you're targeting somewhere around 30, every 30 laps or so, getting some fresh rubber. 30, 35 laps should be able to get you to the end. But
yeah, I sure would. Especially if you're getting yellows around that time, it's a no-brainer. Go get some tires.
So it looks like we've actually got, I think, about 23, 24 drivers in the server here this evening. So again, first time broadcasting for these fellas here tonight. So I'm not sure what their normal turnout is, but I think that's a rather decent showing as far as a league race, a hosted league race on a Wednesday evening would do, Stan. So I'm expecting some great racing here. I do know they have a live race control too as well. So I just kind of popped up our race control server here so I can keep an eye on what's going there to see if anybody's getting a end of line penalty here. I know there was some talk early on. There's a couple drivers that do have end of line penalties from races earlier. I don't believe one of them is in the server here. There was Brandon Teixeira, but I don't see him in here. But I believe one of the other drivers, I can't remember offhand what.
Yeah, I think it's Joseph Doremus in the
Joseph,
car.
yes, he has an end of line penalty. So I have to watch to make sure that he serves it, I guess. But qualifying getting underway. What's your strategy here for qualifying, Stan? Do you push on the first lap, or is it the second lap push here?
You know, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm a pretty terrible qualifier. So everything I try to do seems to be wrong. Typically, I would do like your onboard car here for Atlanta. I would just try to run the bottom the whole time. It could be beneficial to run the top for one lap and build up that momentum and then run the bottom for the second lap. But I tried doing it Aiden's way, and it's wrong. And then I tried doing it the other way, and that's wrong too. So I just really don't know anymore. My qualifying confidence is basically zero lately. But back to your point, this is a very well populated room. This would be great for an A fixed race or an A open race. You would love to see this many cars in your split. And to the point you made about live race control, I love that. I have never raced in a league where people are holding people accountable in real time for stuff that they do. It's always, you just got to deal with it later. And I understand that. I respect the challenges of running a league and the manpower and the time that people put in to do that. But having live race control is so huge. And to hear that these guys have that, this is really cool.
Yeah, there's I know we've both been in a number of official lobbies in and amongst iRacing where you'd wish that you would have had some kind of iRacing official steward in there doing race control just to handle the nonsense that's in there. But
yeah,
fortunately for our drivers tonight, they have that. But it looks like to jump on board here, Jack Humbert crossed the line. He's pulling into the pits now, but nice lap by him. Pops up into second place. Looks like he's in a dead heat right now with our top driver, James Johnson. But as I say that, Dalton Moore going to pop up top and take that position away. 2/100s just ahead of the virtual deadlock between Johnson and Humbert in second place.
That's a cool throwback paint job that Dalton Moore's got too. That Interstate Batteries car used to be driven back in the late 90s and 2000s by a guy named Bobby Labonte, and I always thought that race car looked really cool. I'm glad somebody's running that paint.
You know what? I'm not ashamed to admit I might have bought an Interstate battery or two just based off that livery back in the day, Stan. So it served its purpose as far as advertising went.
Do you remember the delivery trucks that used to run around with the NASCAR paint job on them? How cool that was!
Yeah, they'll roll up doors on the side and then they'd pull it. I want to say that there was another. I think there was another. Wasn't there another battery company too as well that was sponsoring a car back then? And then they started doing the same thing. I'm trying to remember what it was. There was Interstate and there was somebody else that was big back in that day.
I want to say Exide might have been one of them.
Yeah, I think it was Exide, yeah.
Exide had one. Die Hard batteries, back when Sears used to exist and sell Die Hard car batteries, used to have the coolest paint job on the NASCAR truck back when they first started racing them in the 90s too. It looked so cool. And I always, whenever I think of the truck series back around the time I first started watching when I was, 3 or 4 years old or however old I was, that paint scheme always stands out in my mind. Golly, have we got 3 Stube Tube race cars in here? I'm looking through the field right now, and
I think somebody was actually mentioning in chat before we went live that they were wondering if there's some kind of team orders that jumped in. There was 3 Stube Tube cars, liveried cars in the lobby, so you might be onto something there, Stan.
You might want to control R your trading paints too, because I'm seeing some different stuff. When
seeing some fresh paints. There we go.
Maybe it could be you or me. I'm not sure.
I just refreshed them up again, so we'll see once they fill in. I know we've got a couple cars that are just showing the. I guess you would call it the base iRacing paint scheme that you get in their paint shop. So
yeah, I'm sort of bouncing around. Do you have your custom numbers turned on, Rob?
Oh, that's a good question, Stan.
Because custom numbers will.
Let me, for the fans at home, just ignore this here. You see nothing?
Look at
I
that. There
don't.
you go.
There we go.
Yeah, you're about to see some cool paint jobs here in a second.
You know, I have it on my, we just jumped ahead in time.
Yeah, sun went
it looks
down.
like we're doing some sunset racing, but I have it on my sim rig. I have hide the numbers set up, but you know what? I haven't done it over here at the broadcast PC, but qualifying is finished. Let's take a look at the results here, Stan. Looks like Dalton Moore going to start top spot. James Johnson to his outside. Jack Humbert in third. Guy Oliveira in fourth. Yusuf Ghali in fifth. Justin Mooney going to start in sixth. Row four is Scotty Lanning and Cole Clausen. Grady Mooney and Aiden Andarza in the rounding at the top 10. Tyler Olson and David Walker going to start 11th and 12th.
Yeah, Travis Plato there in 13th, followed by Maurice Harris, Noah Jones, and Joseph Doremus making up the 8th row. Ian Meneses, I hope I'm saying that right, Amin Ghali, Guadalupe Hernandez, Brock Shirley rounding out the top 20. It looks like the last qualifiers, Eric Stuber there in the 21st position. Then you got Brad Harris, Jonathan Pereira, and Christopher Toppings all following that up. And it looks like that of the guys that were actually trying to make time and get a starting spot, everybody is separated by less than 2/10. Now that's running by themselves. Here at a drafting track, where you qualify by the end of 95 laps just really isn't going to matter all that much. But for them to be that close before we even go green here, I would expect for it to get really, really exciting really early. 3 wide is doable, but 2 wide, you know, I wouldn't expect it to go single file. Atlanta races just never seem to go single file, so it'll be pretty exciting as soon as we hit the green here.
So what should we expect heading into turn 1 and 2, Stan? Is Atlanta a track that really you have to try and bide for position into turn 1? Kind of like Daytona and Talladega, where it's just kind of all out rush into turn 1 across front straight, or usually the driver's going to maintain their kind of calmness, I guess, into turn 1, try and bide their time.
You know, it is very much going to be that land rush into turn 1, just like what you're used to at other super speedways. In my experience here in Atlanta, it seems like because the corner's so much tighter, every once in a while you have guys that lift off a little more than the guy behind them is expecting. There are frequently huge stack-ups into turn 1 on the initial race start, and at every restart. We've already got guys wrecking out of turn 2, Rob. We've already got a wreck.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on there, Stan. Just heard talk about delaying the start.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, race control has extended it by 1 lap. So we'll see if we can try and catch what happened there. I think Dustin Mooney might have been one of the drivers wrapped up there. Let's see if we can try and figure out what happened here.
Yeah, I need to go back and get a look at what happened, because I'm really not sure. That was... I'm just going to wait before I open my mouth and see what actually took place here, because that was pretty unusual. Okay. Not seeing anything too out of line on...
It might have been a little further back.
Might have been further back, yeah. It was further back. There it was. Back, yeah, it was a Stube tube and a Spirit.
Looks like the 25 car, Eric Stuber. Let's see if we can try and find out what happened to...
yeah, they're middle of 1 and 2 for the race start. You still got a little bit of time to... Whoa! Oh. What? Oh, my gosh. Why are...
So it looks like the 4 dropped down and kind of bottlenecked everybody else in behind there.
I think it just surprised some people that were really hustling to catch back up to the pack, and... that seemed a little unnecessary, but, you know... It's going to be fine. It didn't look like anybody got tore up too bad. Going to check on Yusuf, because he had some comments about it, but it doesn't look like he's got any damage on his car, so should be in pretty good shape to get going here, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't think I ever actually saw anybody make any contact, thankfully, so...
Yeah, there was a little bit, but it was so low speed. I think everybody got out of there without damage worth mentioning. Maybe somebody's got a scratch, but it'll be fine. Getting ready to get the green here. Pace car is going to be dropping low here momentarily. We're going to watch for those stack ups into turn one that Atlanta is so well known for. Pace car's down. Leader to the restart zone. And we're green at Atlanta.
All right, here we go, Stan. First time by into turn one. Let's see what we got unfolding here. So far, it looks like so good.
Pretty well behaved so far. You can already tell guys are trying to dive to the bottom and get some positions early here.
So Dalton Moore going to hold on to his top spot. James Johnson, Jack Humbert, all filing in line. But it's like Cole Clausen would pick up 4 spots early on in the Oregon tool machine here.
Yeah, really impressive run from him on the first lap as they go single file for about the top 5, it looks like. Oh, man, we're already wrecking it. Oh, he's going to save it. What a save from Aiden Ondarza in the Scrub Daddy machine. Oof. Wow.
What a save.
So that's going to be, oh boy, we're going to be like 3 wide going down the back here too as everybody gathers it back up. Looks like it's going to be okay. This is going to change things for this opening run, Rob. Now we've got 2 or 3 distinct packs of cars that are all spread apart, and the odds of a big race-changing crash are really decreased when you spread the whole field out like this. So it's possible we could run green for a little while and bring green flag stops into the equation.
Now, what's the draft range on these cars here, Stan, when they break into a couple packs like that?
You know, in my experience, it seems like 0.8 is about the magic number for the draft range. It's hard to tell in car lengths what that might be from up here on the spotter stand where I'm posted up, but oh boy, we've got some screaming on the radio. I don't know what's going on here, but I would say if you're within about 8 or 10 car lengths, you're probably in good shape to grab a little bit of that draft.
Yeah, we've got a couple of drivers that are fuming in the back.
I had to mute the comms because I couldn't hear myself broadcast. I couldn't hear what was going on.
It looks like race control is letting them run right now, Stan. I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't get a green flag drop early on, but looks like Eric Stuber leaving the secondary pack. A couple cars kind of straggled in between the first 2 packs. I suspect that they're going to get snatched up here by the second pack fairly quickly. Amin Ghali is the car just ahead of Stuber. I suspect they're going to snatch him or soak him up very quickly here.
Yeah, these packs are going to consolidate for sure. So the good news for the second pack is it looks like you've got all 3 of the Stoop Tube cars leading the second pack on their own right now. So I'd have to imagine that those guys are going to be in comms in the Discord talking to each other and able to get a little more organized than everybody who's running their own voice channel. So hopefully that'll help this second pack make some ground up on the first pack. But I can already see, it looks like Yusuf, he's trying to go up there and pick up Amin. They've got the same last name, so I'm just going to call them brothers for the rest of the race. Trying to go pick up his brother Amin, and it's really not doing anything for him yet. Golly, the second pack is so disorganized still. But it looks like they're not too far separated from... that's kind of a straggler back there. Guadalupe is just in no man's land on his own.
Yeah, I'm showing they're about 7 seconds back now of the lead pack, so they definitely have some work to cut out to get up there. But as you mentioned, they're not forming up real well here, Stan. They kind of all staggered in and out. I don't know if that's strategy to keep the air coming in the front end, but it's definitely going to cost them a bunch of pace here.
Yeah, and then you've got the 45 who's not doing anything wrong here, just to be clear. 45's done nothing wrong, but running the bottom and making everybody change course and go around them on the top, that's just going to stack them up a little more. You see there's still a lot of side-by-side, which, intentional or not, results in a lot of side drafting. Now we're not making any ground up on the leaders. Oh boy, they're trying to wreck there at turn 1. What a save. Lots of good saves here. It's a long race, right? I mean, we're 10% of the way through this race right now. So lots of time. You're gonna have to pit. The pit road situation here is very weird. Everything's gonna come back to you if you're just patient here. But I can see a lot of oh golly, Guadalupe in the wall on the front there wrecking. Another, oh no, Yusuf Ghali's gonna get the penalty and he won't save it.
Oh.
Yep, we're wrecked in turn one. Yellow's going to need to come out here soon.
It looks like they're still holding on to the yellow right now.
He's trying to get going. Yusuf is, oh boy. We are, ooh, we're about to have a problem. There's the yellow. Oh, jeez. Golly. Wow. That was.
That was a heck of a delay there in the yellow, but thankfully they threw it just in time. Otherwise, as you mentioned, Yusuf was about to get cleared out.
Yeah, so, you know, here's the thing too. We need to go back and watch the replay of Guadalupe and Yusuf getting together, because that was just a little bit of, yeah, they just came together on the front. It'd be like that sometimes. Keep an eye on the Spirit Airlines car. Let's keep our camera focused on him here for a little bit, because I don't want to make any accusations or point any fingers. I'm just going to let it speak for itself.
Are you saying this was almost an intentional attempt at a yellow flag here?
I would never say something like that. But then again, ooh, boy, woo, that was a choice. That was a choice.
I guess he had the choice to just let it roll back and collect itself up, but he chose to try and drive up on the banking. So I'm not sure. Yusuf, 4.7K iRating driver, you would think he'd be fairly astute at how to get that car back on track. So I'm going to lean. I'm going to say it, Stan. I think it was somewhat accidental, unintentional.
The only reason I mentioned it at all was because I have raced with Yusuf a lot, and Yusuf is fast, and I know he could have saved that if he really wanted to. However, if I was in that same situation, I might have done the same thing and hoped the broadcast didn't notice either. So
maybe he didn't notice that there was a broadcast tonight. He wouldn't get caught.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Bad news, buddy. You're live.
So now we are, 13 laps into this one, Stan. Do you burn one of your sets of tires or no?
You know, if I hadn't been involved in anything up to this point, in any wrecks or any spins that had put undue wear on my tires or caused any damage to the car, I'm probably staying out here. Still too early to pit. I mean, it's not like if you take fuel here, it'll get you to the end or anything. So there's really nothing to gain by pitting now, unless you're a guy like Yusuf, or unless you're like Guadalupe, or like any of these cars that have a little bit of damage to them right now that maybe could use some tires. Now is the perfect opportunity to get a little reset, get another crack at a race start, because between the wreck on the formation lap and all of the silliness that happened in the opening 10 laps or so, a lot of stuff happened that had the potential to mess the race up for these people that are on pit road right now. Now you get a do-over. And if I was one of those people that had been impacted by any of that, I would absolutely pit and you know, get my reset here. I might not even take tires, honestly, because I might want them more later. You're going to have to pit again no matter what, so it might be a good time to just coast and chill out. They did just get the 1 to green here, so Yusuf will be able to get his tires, get whatever repairs need done, and should be able to catch the pack here in plenty of time.
Yeah, it looks like the lights are out on the pace car, as you said, 1 to go.
Yeah, I'm watching Yusuf right now on pit road. He is taking tires, so he's getting a fresh set. Still got some damage on the front. They are fixing it. It looks like he's trying to give it as long as he can before he has to go catch the pack.
Well, I believe he's a lap down now, too, as well, right? Because he got passed by the leaders just as he was trying to get back on track. So,
yeah, heck, honestly, now that I noticed that, if I paid attention to this live timing that you set me up with, I would have seen that. But with that in mind, just stay in position for the lucky dog, man. He's doing it perfect. He's going to be in good shape here. Get a lap back at the next yellow. He'll get his repairs all done here. He's going to be fine. He is going to be out in no man's land, though, because he is not going to catch this pack by the time they go back green. So if they do run green for a little while, he's going to get swallowed up again.
And the pace car's off, so we're ready to start dancing again, Stan. We had a nice clean start to the race. Let's see if we can have another one here as they're heading into turn 1 as we're green again.
Yep, again, nice and spread out here early. Nothing really causing me any too much concern. 3, 1, and 2. Looks like after the drama there in the beginning, everybody might be mellowed out a little bit. Still a little bit of too wide action going on, but you can see it looks like the top 7 or 8 cars are all single file. If it stays that way, they could lose the pack behind them again here unless people get their act together, start drafting.
Yeah, it looks like we're already starting to break into 2 packs here again. Eric Stuber, surprisingly, he was leading the second pack before we had that caution. He's got himself at the front of this second pack too again. It's up 10 spots though from where he started, so a nice run by him, but it's interesting that they've already broken into 2 packs and he's leading that second pack again.
Yeah, it's such a long race that it'll be fine even if we split up into 2 packs again here. But if this second pack would actually form up, then they would have no problem catching the cars ahead, because even the lead pack is not super well organized right now. There's still, you can see the 71 car passing Noah Jones in the 24, that Oregon Tool car. Well, he tried to pass him, but couldn't get it done and has to drop back in line here behind him. But yeah, I think the second pack's in a little bit better shape, but there's still a lot of side drafting going on from pack number 2. Yusuf working his way up the middle in pack number 2 right now. Golly. Lots going on here. He's going to try and get his lap back the hard way.
Or the old school way, Stan, before the lucky dogs let everybody get themselves back onto the lead laps. He's going to do it the old school way, but it looks like the 14 going to pop up and try and get a little bump draft from Yusuf down the back straight.
Yeah, now Yusuf and Amin, they have the same last name, and I'm probably mispronouncing every single one of their names. So anybody that watches this, I'm going to go ahead and apologize to you right now. But I get the impression that they're trying to work together. But I gotta be honest, I'm watching the 14. The 14 looks pretty unstable. A little bit hard for Yusuf to follow, a little bit hard for Yusuf to push. So they're not going to make up a lot of ground that way. It could work out better for Yusuf to lead the 14. Oh, boy. Golly, that's just a lot going on there. They're really not doing themselves too many favors right now, but it does seem like everything's calmed down. We're back up front here. Looks like we're focused on James Johnson there in the 8 car. And, you know, this top 4, top 5, they look pretty calm. Nothing too exciting going on back there. It's still a little busy back behind them, but this is what you want if you've capitalized on your position early in the race. If you're in that lead pack, this is what you want right now. You're hardly a quarter of the way through this race, not even a quarter of the way through it. Long way to go. You still have to pit again. You still have to pit at all. I think Yusuf's the only guy that pitted on that last yellow.
Let me take a look. Yeah, he's the only one that came in. There was a couple early on that were, like Guadalupe came in, but I don't think he went back out on track. And Maurice Harris was in early on. He was right from the green flag. So yeah, Yusuf was the only one that came in, came back out. Yeah, we're still expecting pit stops from number drivers. How long do you expect them to go on fuel alone, Stan? Like, can they get to the halfway mark, do you think?
Yeah, because when we run a fixed here, unless they've done something with their fixed setup, which is a possibility that I'm not aware of, when you run a fixed, you start with 20 gallons of gas, and that gets you at least to lap 50, typically, unless you're wide open leading the entire race, then it can get a little bit tight. But they should be able to make it to halfway. Now that we've already had a yellow and they've saved a little bit of gas, I can't imagine that they'll have any trouble making it halfway.
So we're getting a little unorganized again in the second pack here, but it's like Joseph Teremis try and get himself up to the front of this pack, try and tow around everybody else, but David Walker looking up the inside, not ready to let him go. Eric Stuber there too as well. Now they're going too wide here, Stan. That's definitely not going to allow them to catch up to the lead back, as they're now again 6.5 seconds up the road.
Hey, how about 3 wide, actually? Let's go. It looks like Yusuf. Oh, they're wrecking into one. Oh, my gosh. This two car spins into one. Oh, and the Milwaukee car is collecting the 12. Oh, my gosh. Jonathan Pereira sliding down turn 2 right now. No major damage for Jonathan. No major damage for Christopher Toppings either, it looks like. It looks like Jonathan, Christopher both got away with that. And it looks, oh my gosh. And Joseph Dormus trying to get back going here, really struggling. Not sure if he's got damage or what's going to happen with him, as they all come around to intercept the pace car here, middle of the backstretch just about. Joseph has been passed by the pace car, been passed by several of the leaders there in the 4 car. Not sure where they're going to place him, but
yeah, I'm showing him a lap down right now, but Joseph is showing as the lead car lap down, so he could get the lucky dog, get himself right back on the...
Well, he's ineligible for the lucky dog since he was involved in the crash. It looks like he's coming around. Oh, no, they're going to place him back. No, he's going to be first car, 1 lap down. Not sure if that means Yusuf gets a free pass or if nobody gets it. Not entirely sure. They're trying to sort it out here, figure out where they're supposed to be. But that had the potential to be a really, really big crash and really ended up not being very big at all. So good on everybody to not get involved there.
Yeah, let's take another look here and see how that unfolded.
Yeah,
it's like the floor just came down. It wasn't quite clear. And it looks like actually Christopher Toppings and I believe that was Jonathan Pereira just had incidental contact trying to avoid Joseph, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, nobody really did anything wrong there. I mean, if anything, you know, they all did something right as the pace car tries to murder Jonathan there on the way by. But they were just both trying to miss him, and Jonathan got a little loose, juking out to avoid the crash, and they just kind of hip-checked each other, and nothing wrong there. Everybody did a pretty good job missing that. Hopefully Jonathan and Christopher are both undamaged, and I'm sure it really seems like that these wrecks that have happened so far, nobody's hit anything super hard. Everybody's had sort of car-to-car contact, minor damage at worst. Like, for us to be going as fast as we are and for there to be this many cars all around you when this happens, I can't believe we don't have more cars out of this race after those first 2 wrecks. This is incredible.
I'm having a look at Jonathan's car. I think he was able to keep it off the wall there, Stan. So I think it was maybe just a little bit of 0x contact off the side of Christopher, and otherwise he's just clean. So
he never touched it. He never touched the wall. He just had to look at it for a really long time as he slid broadside down the track.
So he may not get the lucky dog here, but he was the lucky dog as far as avoiding any kind of damage on his car.
It is interesting that he's ended up back in front of the leader here.
Oh, there he goes.
That's just a wave around. That's not even a lucky dog. He just gets a freebie here. It looks like the 71's going around. Lots of cars. Oh, never mind. I'm looking somewhere else. But yeah, the 38, Jonathan, he golly, I've got too many race cars on my screen here. Sorry about that. But looks like Jonathan Pereira got the wave around, not the lucky dog. But because he would, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't understand how this all happened. So we're just going to say thanks iRacing and carry on for the restart here. Looks like Yusuf got his lap back there in the 54. He's showing on the lead lap now, so great news for him. Yeah. That Spirit Airlines car, the official car of bankrupt aviation companies.
We didn't see any of our leaders come in, Stan. Do you think that's a miscalculation on their part, or is it still early into the race?
You know, it's still, I mean, you could pit. I probably would have, but I don't think anybody's doing something wrong. They might be trying to one-stop it, but I have the feeling we haven't seen the last yellow, so I don't know why you even bother. I think you just come in and get some fresh tires. But I respect the strategy. Pace car dropping in here.
Yeah, looks like we're going green again on lap 28 here. Call it away, Stan.
Yeah, Dalton Moore with another good restart there, although it looks like James Johnson might get out. Oh, no, James Johnson lifts off to try and drop back in behind here. We got another yellow for something that I can't see. Not sure what is going on.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The 14 car was involved in something on the front. Didn't quite. Uh-oh.
Oh, are they going too fast? It sounds like I'm hearing on comms. Were they above the pace limit? Maybe they went for the restart zone. I am showing a mean off track, so I'm not sure what. Oh, he did get a little bump there to the front line.
Yeah, it looked like there was just some sort of checkup, and everybody in the very back was trying to get a good run on the restart. I wouldn't even call it trying to jump the start, but they were just trying to get a good run, and unfortunately, what that led to was a little bit of family violence here.
Brother on brother violence.
54 running into the back of the 14. Oh, man. How far away is Thanksgiving? Before they have to sit across the table from each other.
That's going to be an interesting dinner next time they're together, Stan. There might be some food thrown across the table at one another.
All I'm saying is that the 14's got hot dogs on the side of the car, so it would, I would hate to get a, you know what, never mind.
A wiener to the face, is that what you're going with, Stan?
Well, yeah, we'll just, yeah, you said it, not me. Got several cars coming into pit road here, get some repairs. Yusuf is undoubtedly going to be screaming inside of his car after he has now been in three wrecks, actually, if you count the formation lap wreck. He's had damage to the front of his car 3 different times. He's now coming in to fix it again. Golly, man,
I gotta say though,
here tonight?
all of his interactions though have been fairly minor as far as damage those stands. He's been able to keep going. It's just a matter of how many lives does that cat have left.
Well, that's the question, right? Like, honestly, every single wreck he's been in could have been so much worse, and I can't help but feel like he's just due. one of these wrecks is actually going to end up as bad as it could be because he's gotten away with a lot so far, and I don't think any of it's really been his fault. You know, the causing the yellow quote unquote. You know, but everything that's precipitated his car not pointing the right direction, I don't think has been his fault at all, except running in the back of his brother. But I don't know what was going on there. That seemed like a huge checkup. So
I guess if he had no luck, it would only be bad luck at this point in time for
sure. I think that's the thing. Yeah, something like that.
Looks like he's coming back out of the pits, but
yeah, he's coming back out. Let me check the front of his car out here. The front of his car looks fine. They keep fixing it, so give those pit crew guys a raise. But looks like his brother's coming back out. Let's see how the back of his brother's car looks. Not too bad. I think we're going to be okay here.
Yeah, they're going to be back together on track, one in front of the other this time. We'll see if maybe Amin gets a little payback on Yusuf this time. But yeah, I'd hate to see it just in regular racing in general. But when you throw potentially some brothers in with each other, you never know what's going to happen. But we got a couple drivers who have moved up through the field here, Stan. We got Noah Jones up 10 spots in 5th. Ian Meneses in 7th up 10 spots, and then our biggest mover, Eric Stuber, who we've seen consistently leading the second pack when they break into 2 packs, up 11 spots where he qualified in 10th.
Yeah, I think it's about time for old Eric to start handing out some coaching to the Stube Tube guys here. It seems like they've been in or immediately adjacent to every wreck that's happened so far. So
accident adjacent.
Yeah, which, you know, doesn't mean it's their fault, but they sure are around a lot of it. So maybe Stube Tube needs to have a safety meeting or something here.
So it looks at what. Oh yeah, I got to see what this paint job is now on James Johnson's car.
What are we looking at?
Ozzy Osbourne, but I didn't recognize the picture in the front. But
I thought that was something else. No, did we go single file restarts here?
Yeah, it looks like they've had enough wrecking. We're going single file this time. Interesting. So we'll see how that plays out as we're about to go back green again, Stan. James Johnson going to lead them by this time. Dalton Moore's been the leader up to this point, so we'll see how Johnson does being the rabbit now.
Yeah, looked like, honestly, it's kind of funny. James Johnson looked like he wanted to drop back in line behind the 18 there, Dalton. But he just ended up ahead of him when the yellow came out. So he may not want to be leading. Maybe he does, but this kind of changes things. It'll be a little bit of different behavior from the leader of the pack. Something important of note, too, lot worse tires probably on the front of James Johnson's car. He will have been having to put more wheel into it to hold the bottom behind Dalton in the 18. So you could see a little bit of different behavior out of the lead car here, a little bit further off the bottom maybe. But so far, the single file starts may have been the trick. It looks a lot more organized. Looks like we haven't really separated into two packs. Single file for a lot of the way, but it won't stay that way for long. We start getting some guys get some runs, and it'll get too wide again here real quick.
Yeah, it's much more organized than what we've seen to this point right now. As you mentioned, we've kind of stayed one solid pack. Looks like all the way back to Jonathan Pereira in 21st place. We're only separated by about 3 seconds. That's basically the length of stacking 21 cars nose to tail on a track is going to get you. But so it'll be interesting to see how long we can go here, Stan.
Yeah, right now I'm just sort of looking at the track from a big top-down view. Not a whole lot going on. Everybody's pretty well behaved. I'm looking for any runs starting to build here. It looks like the Ghali brothers have hooked back up. Now we've got Yusuf leading the line, which may be beneficial. Getting a big push.
Moving.
Look at that run. Holy cow. So this is what we're talking about, right? You got a lot of lifting in the corners, but if you can get up top, this is unbelievable how fast they're going, how fast they're eating the rest of these cars up. Really, really impressive stuff. I mean,
they've just went from 19th place when we picked them up. Yusuf now up into 13th place in a matter of 2 corners. They're staying.
So this is where it's going to start getting a little bit complicated. You see they've sort of separated from each other. Now they don't have all that momentum. Really need the 14 to get back to the back bumper of the 54 and keep pushing, which it looks like is going to happen down the back here. Yusuf going to the top again, 3 wide into turn 3.
Yeah, it looks like the 4 wants to come up, but is
no. When he's loose, he's hanging on to it. He saved it. Oh my gosh, what a save. Wow. That was actually very, very impressive. Great save out of Joseph Dormus there. That could have been a gigantic wreck, but it wasn't.
That's what we like to see there, Stan. That's some quality wheeling right there. But
yeah,
looks like the Ghali brothers have kind of stalled out here a little bit once they've gotten up to just outside the top 10. Eric Stuber, our perennial top 10 driver, currently holding down that spot. Looks like Yusuf getting a run on the outside. Amin falling back a little bit off his bumper, though.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to stay hooked up in the corners here, especially if you got worn out tires. We know Yusuf probably has the freshest tires in the field right now because I saw him take some at the first yellow, which, 10 laps or whatever it was, you don't think it would make that big of a difference, but it does. It helps a lot as we get a little stacked up in turn 3. Amin almost clicking the wall, but everybody's fine here. Now we've got this top lane starting to build a little momentum. They're trying to make something happen here. We're starting to break our way into the top 10. They're thinking about it. Top lane's getting a little disorganized here, so everybody just needs to take a breather, give it a lap or 2, settle back in here, start to build that run again. But really, really impressive stuff to come from the very, very back of the restart, back to the top 10 last time live for the Spirit Airlines Toyota there.
Oh, we got driver, looks like connection issue for our leader, James Johnson.
Oh, no.
Blinked out there for a second. You hate to see that, especially in front of the pack.
Yeah, when you're leading a super speedway, that's the last thing you want is to have your leader be blinking out. Hopefully that won't be too big of a problem. Looks like the top lane's getting more organized here. Yusuf now pushing that Kentucky car. That's Ian Nesses. That's what Coach Walker's running with there.
Yep.
We're starting to get a little action here in the top lane. Starting to get pretty entertaining here as we come to lap 41 of 95. Still not halfway here.
Yeah, nearing the halfway point though. So all of I want to say our top 15 yet to pit other than Yusuf and Amin, and that was for damage. So safe to say they're probably on fresher tires here too as well, Stan.
Yeah, and at this point, if we get a yellow, I would expect pretty much everybody to pit. You might see something oddball. You might see the 54 or the 14 stay out since they've just pitted. But if we get another yellow here, we're close enough to halfway that I would expect everybody to pit. I just think it's so unlikely that we're going to end up with green flag pit stops here. I can't imagine, but it's really pretty well behaved for some two-wide racing going on here.
It looks like the outside line's working well. As the outside line's starting to move up here rather quick.
Yeah, it looks like Yusuf wants to go up the middle, and he does. That was tight. Golly, that had the potential to be huge. So now here's something that's going to be a problem. Oh, wow. Okay, the Kentucky yellow flag is back out. I don't see where.
Looks like Mooney and Andarza might have had an issue here.
No, Aiden in another wreck. Aiden in another wreck today. What is going on?
Yeah, the 51 of Mooney looking a little rough on the right-hand side there.
Oh, man. Yeah, it looked like the 4-car got turned here. Once you get a replay on it here, you'll see same spot that he got loose last time, but he, you know, wow, that was a big wreck. That's the first major contact I've seen all night. But this wreck keeps going on all the way past start-finish. Like, stuff is still happening all the way up there.
Yeah, the 4-car is hurt hard. You see that right front turned in. He's definitely, see, he was able to get to the pits, though. Not sure if that's going to be an unsafe entry.
It will.
But it looks like he's probably done,
though. I
though.
don't think it's going to matter. Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, he was loose before. We saw he was loose on his own, but you're going to be even more loose when your rear tires are not in contact with the racetrack. So
looks like all of our leaders coming in now, Stan.
Yeah, everybody's coming in for a pit stop here. This is going to be pretty big for everybody. Got James Johnson, Dalton Moore. Did the 64 sneak up and take the lead there? Oh, okay. He stayed out. That's a choice. Okay. 64 cars staying out. And looks like we're going to be leaving pit road just about the same order we came in here. Everybody's taking tires, topping off with gas. It does look like the 54 came into pit. A little short stop, though. Might have just taken some gas to try to get to the end. More or less in the same order we came in the pits at, although I'd like to go back and I wish I could see what the 54 did for his pit stop, because he made up a bunch of spots there. Might have skipped tires and just given his car another top off, maybe, but...
I might be able to catch that for you here, Stan. Hold on. Just give me one moment to find Yusuf entering the pits here. It's him entering pit lane. Or exiting, sorry. For some reason I can't find him, but looks like his last stop was only 8.4 seconds, where majority of the rest of the field were in the 15-second time in the box. So yeah, you're probably right, just a little splash and go. He probably put tires on earlier when he was in to repair that damage.
Yeah, he did something different for sure. One part of that last incident you probably want to go back and look at just so everybody gets their TV time. Looks like after the wreck with the Ford and the 71, all that evasive action or contact even, looks like with the 51 of Grady Mooney, excuse me, resulted in the rest of that incident that Aiden ended up in. Looks like Aiden decided to stay out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, nobody really at fault for the rest of that. Although I can't help but notice, and this is true, this isn't an issue with this league or even this series. Everybody does this in officials and league races. I'll never understand why we see cars wrecking and we don't just get on the brakes immediately. Everybody starts trying to just fly through there, and that's just what happens, unfortunately.
So interesting here, Aiden Andarza, who we just saw involved, was a driver that got tagged there by Mooney. He's been in, got service, and he's sitting in third place right now.
Yeah, and I'm on a close-up of his car. He's got a lot of right front damage that's going to be hurting him here. The 64 car is undamaged on old tires. The 38 car Might be damaged. I know he was in an earlier wreck, but the 06 is in pretty rough shape. So we need to keep the camera on the front of this pack here because there's a lot of varying speeds out of all these cars up here. So it's gonna get a little sketchy here.
Yeah, Humbert going to lead us to the line.
Oh,
He's got
man.
the oldest tires, and it looks like he spun them up here going green. That's going to check out the whole field.
Got the 24 spinning through the grass out back too. No major incident, but just a spin through the grass. We stay green for now. Oh, man. Oh, man. James Johnson wanted to clear the 06 so bad right there, but just couldn't get it done. 06 hanging tough on the bottom. He's going to get tight and wash up if he tries to stay in it here. It looks like he lifted, though, so good on him. And, oh, my gosh, it is getting tight here. All these cars. Yeah,
it's Amin shooting up in front of his brother there on the top line.
Yeah.
So.
I guess if you got somebody with the same last name behind you, you can get away with a little bit more, but it's lots of cars trying to build runs here, and oh man,
Johnson got a run on the outside, but nobody wanted to go with him as
yeah, Amin
both of the Golly brothers going to duck down to the bottom, but Amin came up late, but at that point in time Johnson's run was done.
Now we've got them split up. It's every man for himself in the Golly household right now, and looks like he's getting pushed on the top.
I'm actually impressed with Humbert being able to stay out front on those old tires.
Yeah, he must have been saving them pretty good early, but you can tell, like, I mean, getting passed on the top like that. Oh, Amin going for the lead here. He's going to lead this lap.
Oh, I thought he was going to get a heavy bump from Humbert there, but backed off the last second.
So now you got something. Oh, and he's loose! Woo, boy! He needs to get back up. Yeah, they're not going to let him up. Oh, my gosh! Whoa, boy.
I got to say, I'm impressed. That was a nice save. I give a shout out to being Golly 1.3K iRating driver. He looks like he's driving well above his skill level here tonight, Stan.
Yeah,
his iRating, driving well above his iRating would indicate here.
Yeah, no, he's doing a good job. He's doing a great job pushing and leading and saving cars that should have been spins, and pretty good all-around performer right now.
So it looks like we've broken back into two packs again, although majority of the field still up in this lead pack. A couple drivers that we've seen involved in some instance. Chris Toppings moving his way back through the field, up 12 spots from where he started to as well. But he is, again, this broadcast brought to you thanks to Chris Toppings. So we hope his race turns around here for him in the back half so we can get him a little more TV time moving up through the field. But so he's just biding his time right now at the back of this pack.
Yeah, I'm not saying it because he hired us to broadcast or anything, but I hope Chris Toppings wins. For no particular reason. Just throwing it out there.
Kind of looks like he's actually content to stay back here right now, Stan, trying to avoid any of the carnage.
I mean, if I've been looking out my windshield and see nothing but death and destruction and chaos out in front of me the whole night, I'd be just waiting this out. You've still got almost a whole A6 to go here. No reason to get excited and get yourself up there in the middle of where the wreck is gonna be. Just wait it out. As we're catching the lap car here at Noah, 24.
Ooh, looks like he's staying high, rubbing the wall though.
Yeah, he's trying to stay out of the way. He's being very courteous to all the cars lapping him. He's leaving them so much room that he's knocking the ball down. But just, I mean, you feel for Noah because no fault of his own. He just got over there on the initial start, and it did not bring out a yellow. Did not bring the yellow out because he was just so far from the racing surface. But just imagine if you had tried to get going and spun back into the racing surface. I mean, it happens.
We might have seen it tonight, you know?
I mean, maybe. That might be what happened. I don't know. That is some big Spirit Airlines.
I'm actually surprised. It looks like the top line's holding fairly steady here, Stan, with only 3 of them up top. They've been able to kind of side draft and maintain that position. I thought they would fall back a little bit with a little more structure on the bottom line.
Yeah, it looks like they can't make their mind up if they want to form a top lane or if they want to run single file. But now we've got the 54 car going to the top here. I would expect a big run out of that guy if his last run to the front was any indication. He's got his preferred drafting partner here with him, so we'll see what he does. There's definitely a lot of lifting going on in the single file parts of the pack, just to keep from running people over into the corners, because you build such these runs on the straightaways and you just come flying up on cars ahead. But if you're the lead of the pack, or the lead of the lane rather, like 54 here, you don't have to lift for anything. You can just let it rip all the way through the corner, as he's proving right now. Big wobble out of there though. Oh my gosh, he got loose.
Yeah, it looks like Ian Menzies almost got up into him there. Oh, little checkup on the bottom.
That's those stack ups like I'm talking about. It's happening to everybody, and that's what's allowing the 54 to get these monster runs on the top. Because you get, especially when you've got like the 64 car, just as an example, 64 car is doing great, but I know he's on older tires. I know he's having to lift a little bit more just to hold that line through the corners. So he lifts, everybody behind him is going to end up lifting as a result. Big push in the 3. My gosh, for the 54 car.
Now, at what point is the 64 going to start worrying about his fuel load there, Stan? He's coming up on 60 laps with this fuel and tires.
We got to be getting there soon. I mean, I can't remember how long the 20 gallons will last you here, but it ain't going to be that much. The yellows are helping him out a little bit, but if I'm him, I'm sure that I would be thinking, oh man, we've been wrecking every 8 laps. Why don't I just stay out for one more and I'll put the next time and maybe have a better run at the end. But of course, when you try to do the opposing strategy to everybody else, that's when the universe is going to look down and laugh at you. So,
yeah, that's we're hoping not for that to happen to Jack Humbert, the 64 car, but he's got to be getting a little nervous behind the wheel here.
Yeah,
he's got to pull in for a green flag stop. That's going to essentially put an end to his run here this evening.
Yeah, we're going to be getting close. I don't know how close. Oh my gosh! 54 car almost just got smoked by his brother. Holy cow. Oh man, what a save. Big pushing though.
Oh, it's like we
lost somebody.
Yeah.
I've still got us here on the backstretch.
There we go.
There they are. Hello.
It was interesting there. Yusuf blinked out for a minute. It took out all my drivers for one. We're back underway, I guess.
Fun of his Spirit Airlines car and doxed us or something, but
it's like we almost went 3 wide there across the line, but we got started back out quickly.
Yeah, they were thinking about it. Now we've got a solid 2 lanes formed here. It was single file for a long time, but we're getting a little action here on the top side now. A little more help. Yusuf leading the lane all the way up to second. As Amin, golly, man, that is close. Amin is trying to push. He's trying to help, but he's just not perfectly square with him when he gets to that back bumper. And we've seen a couple times. Wow. 64 car got pretty tight in the one right there. You can thank his old tires for that one. But everybody got away with it. Yeah, net code giveth and net code taketh. That was definitely a net code giveth for everybody right there. That could have been a wreck at the front of this pack. Everybody would be in it. So, way to not jump.
A ton of sparks coming off the bottom of these cars. Stan, is there any worry about bottoming out and flat spinning at all, or is it just they're just hitting that significant or minuscule little amount on the track that's throwing up enough sparks, but not really any worry about bottoming out and sliding up?
I wouldn't be too worried. I mean, that's a little bit of a factor, but the bottoming out isn't really what's going to force you to slide up. It's just little parts of the car. The little diffuser rakes are going to grab the pavement too, because they're trying to get the ride height down for this new underbody that they've got on these cars. Those diffuser strakes, I believe they're called. You'll see it at night races in NASCAR for real. You know, those guys will be scraping the track with those. And the ideal setup would be get them as close as you can without touching. But guys who get really aggressive with the tire pressures and with the setups on their cars, they'll end up just putting on a spark show for the whole race. But we're only seeing it because it's nighttime. That's pretty normal for just little parts and pieces of the car to touch the track like that.
Gotcha. So we're getting into, what do we got, about 30 laps to go now, Stan?
Yeah,
strategy.
I mean,
what kind of strategy would you be employing here right now if you were, say, mid-pack? Would you be trying to find your way up front, or are you still kind of holding tight for a little bit?
well, if I'm the 64, I'm offering people money to spin and bring out a yellow. But if I'm anybody else, at this point, I don't want to be in the middle of the pack. If you're close to the front, I'd be trying to get to the front and hope that the wreck happens behind you. And if I'm at the back, I'm staying there for now and hoping that I have time to stop for the wreck. The 64 car jumps up in front of the Spirit Airlines Toyota. Big shot crossing the line. 64 car going for the lead here again. Let's see how this clean air on his nose works. He's just not able to. Man, those tires are screaming. Oh, man, that was almost huge. That was a really, really late decision there from the 64 car to jump up in front of the 54. Got some lap traffic coming up here on the bottom. It's going to be in the way. Everybody seems to be getting by okay right now. Oh, boy. We're going to be
bumping
three
and
wide.
banging in behind there.
Oh, I'm in spinning. 14 spinning. Oh, no. Huge wreck. Turn one. Yellow's out.
He's into Oliveira. Unfortunately, got caught up in that one. I saw it working, Stan. I saw this Golly when Oliveira were passing that lap car. It looked like a mean Golly got a little loose and unfortunately got right up into Oliveira and hit him against the wall.
Yeah, there was a little bit of... Man, that's so unfortunate. I mean, you catch this lapper and you're just trying to leave enough room, and that's just such a shame, man. I think that makes 4 wrecks that the 06 has been in now, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, could this be the wreck that knocks Amin Ghali out of the race now? But
yeah, it looks like Amin has disconnected. I'm pretty sure I heard his engine blow in that wreck, and it looks like that his brother went with him. His brother was having a really good run, but I guess in solidarity, they decided to leave together. So
team orders.
Looks like that's gonna put us down to about, how many cars is this gonna work out to do? It's gonna be about 16 19. Cars, 16 or 18. Yeah, that's still pretty good crowd for now.
Now you know who's loving seeing that yellow flag stand, the 64 car.
He sure is, and we've got a wreck.
We got a wreck on the track. Looks like.
Yeah, looks like David Walker and Grady Mooney got in some huge. What is? Whoa!
Like Mooney just didn't see the checkup up ahead, and off he went. As you mentioned, David Walker spun too as well, the Kentucky car.
Yeah, he got away with it pretty good there, and everybody was yelling at David Walker. Nobody said anything about Grady Mooney, who had a way worse crash.
He's driving a black car at night. He just blended in more with the track service. I didn't see him.
He got away with it for sure. So, oh man, what an unfortunate wreck that was for everybody except Jack Humbert. That just, oh man, that was everybody trying to leave space, and I don't know, man. If you're getting lapped, he didn't do anything wrong. He just held the bottom, but.
Now, normally you like to see the lap cars go up high. Am I right on that, or is that?
It depends. I mean, it seems like the preferred lane is the bottom right now. But if I looked behind me and saw they were too wide, I don't know what I would do. Honestly, I would probably just try to put myself in a position to go to the apron and let everyone by and just join back up at the back of the pack. But at the point they were catching him into turn one, I mean, you can't run the apron at speed in the corners, so. That was just a tough spot to be in, but it's just not that hard to pass lap traffic either. I mean, I guess the lapped car could have made it a little easier if he had just hugged the red line around the bottom, but it wasn't like he was in the middle of the track. It wasn't that hard. I think they all could have got around him without it being too much drama.
Now, would the older tires played a role in that too as well?
I mean, I think that the cars that wrecked all had pit at the last stop. So, I don't know. I think, you end up in a different situation. Like, you're constantly running the bottom. You're running the bottom the whole run. And then all of a sudden, you're in the middle or the top because you're going around the lap car and you just don't know what it's going to feel like. And that's what happens. So especially if you have any jerky wheel movements, like it looked like that the 14 tried to go high at the last second because he saw 3 wide was going to be a thing, and that jerky wheel movement right when the car unloads there right before you get into the corner, it's risky. It's risky.
So what should we expect now, Stan? With 24 laps to go, Jack Humbert now sitting on 1 lap old tires. More or less everybody else came in lap 44 in the top. In the front, couple drivers that are still running lap 25, 29 for their pit stop. So is Humbert going to have that much overrun compared to the rest of the field?
Yes, I would expect Jack Humbert to pretty handily knife his way back up through this pack. He's going to be on really fresh tires. He's going to have plenty of gas. There won't be any reason to fuel save. I think Jack Humbert's going to charge back up to the front here. Pretty well behaved from the pack right now. Oh, hey. There we go. Yeah, right now we're well behaved, but we're coming to like 22 to go here. It's going to start getting more exciting. You're going to see guys, oh my gosh, we almost had a wreck into one. Golly, Aiden almost got Christopher Toppings there. That was close, but that all worked out just fine. So
yeah, it's been a rough race for League and Min, Aiden and Darza here this evening in the Scrub Daddy car. He's going to have to scrub the bad luck off his car with the Scrub Daddy after this race.
Yeah, that Scrub Daddy sponsorship is going to come in handy here in a little while because he has had a rough day. Which,
ooh, a little argy-bargy there up ahead.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but you know who's looking at that and loving it? Jack Humbert, the 64 car. He's looking at them all up ahead like, yes, side draft each other, let me back up to the front.
He's going to make a move around one of the tube cars.
Kentucky gets spun in turn 3. Jack Humbert misses it by an inch. Oh my gosh, what a big wreck.
Oh, Aiden Anzaro got caught up in that again.
Okay, all right, we're going to talk about it again. You got cars wrecking. They're wrecking for an hour, and we just go into the smoke at 200 miles an hour. I can't figure it out. It's not any particular driver. It's not the league. It's everybody. Like, I don't get it. Oh boy, we got some beef in the comms.
Yeah. We got some salt on the chat. Good thing I don't have chat going on the stream here.
Oh man, we gotta review this wreck because there is some beef.
Let's take a look here.
Can the viewers hear the comms?
No, comms are off.
Oh no.
We have to go back and see if we can catch Aiden Undarz's maybe his nose shot here, so you can see the wreck up ahead. He does back out, just unfortunately.
Hey, wait, everybody! I want to be in the wreck too.
He backed out, unfortunately, just got caught up with that car coming down.
Yeah, I'm giving him a hard time, but he was backing it down. But golly, man, that could have been. That was still a pretty big wreck. But I don't quite understand how that happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back and see. It looks like maybe Jack Humbert was the one that got into Walker. So no, Walker was the Kentucky car. Oh, it was? It looks like they're going 3 wide there.
Yeah,
see if we can get a...
I don't want to bite the hand that feeds us, but I think that might have been on the 12.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a little bit, yeah.
I mean, the 12 could have been 3 wide. Probably ought to be running the bottom there. He was a little ways off of that red line. Hey, we love you, Chris, but Yeah. Oh, man. That's unfortunate. You hate to see it.
Yeah.
You know who doesn't hate to see it? Jack Humbert in the Motorcraft Ford.
Yeah, he
Back in the
snuck his
top
way
10.
through that, Stan.
Jack Humbert's on the freshest tires. If he times his runs right, just on the shape his car's in and the freshness of his tires, he could. There's no reason that he can't be back in the front.
Well, he's sitting in 11th now. He's got, let's see, everybody else ahead of him pit on lap 44 except for Jonathan Pereira in 3rd, pit on lap 29. So Pereira definitely has some old tires there, but Humbert has at least 26 lap newer tires and majority of the field ahead of him.
I got to give a shout out though, Jonathan Pereira there in the 38, because he was in one of those early wrecks that didn't really get a lot of damage out of the deal. Had that long slide through turn 1. And he's up there running. What is he in? 3rd, 4th, something like that. And he's up there at the front on old tires, having a heck of a run, and really, really impressive.
Yeah, the Perseverance award of the race right now is going to him by the looks of it, up 20 spots where he qualified. So, as you mentioned, being able to make the best of that bad situation early on. So, we'll see what he has to offer. He definitely has some older tires, but we saw they were able to work somewhat decent for Humbert early on. With looks like we're going to come to green with about 17 to go, Stan. You expecting any more cautions here to the end? Or
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know how many yellows we've had already. I kind of lost count, but short answer, yes, these guys are going to keep tearing some stuff up, and I'm here for it. Let's go. We're green.
We are back.
The leader disappears.
Our
as
leader
soon as we
blinks
go
out. Yeah, there we go. Comes back into turn 1, though. Still leading the way, but it looks like we're down to about 15 cars on the lead lap here now, Stan.
Yeah. The top 6 all single file, and then it goes 2 wide behind them.
Gotta give a shout out to Eric Stuber too as well. He's been our driver, kind of mid-pack driver that's kind of been all around all the excitement, but he's managed to avoid it every time here, Stan.
That's true. I was ripping on him early about the Stoop Tube cars being adjacent to all the wrecks, but only one of them's really been in one, I'm pretty sure. So good job to those guys. Oh my gosh, Christopher Toppings with a big run on the top. Can he clear the 28? He does. Makes up a spot here.
Himself up into 5th place, so looks like he's going to make another move on Pereira.
Oh my gosh, he's going for it again, and you know Pereira's on those old tires, so nothing he can do. Is he going to get to the outside of the 13 here? Tyler Olson?
Squeeze back
nope,
in.
He drops back in. Oh man, that just put the 28 in a horrible spot up there too.
Yeah, Scotty Lanning probably hated seeing that. He thought he was going to get the run up behind Toppings. Looks like Toppings popping back out though. Maybe Lanning's picking back up, and he's
Pereira
losing
had
spots
that
with
draft.
that.
Yeah, it's now you're going to see guys start slicing and dicing all the way to the end here, because now everything is on offer. I mean, Jack Humbert looking low on the Stoop Tube, and he's in the wall. 2 Stoop Tube cars in the wreck. My gosh.
Oh,
hate to say it, but that was optimistic out of Jack Humbert, the 64. Very unfortunate.
He's still going though, but unfortunately for Eric Stuber in the Stoop Tube car, he stooped it into the wall on that one. But no yellow, we're still going green. So
yeah, really unfortunate end of the race. We were just talking about them too, about that, how they had missed pretty much everything. But then Jack Humbert got a 2-for-1 on the Stuber guys. So. Oh my gosh, Jack Humbert in the wall had to get. I think he had a big run on somebody into one and couldn't get stopped in time, so just had to hang a ride. I don't quite understand how that happened, but really unfortunate. Not sure what happened to him there.
It doesn't look like you got any damage off it.
I just don't quite get it, to be honest with you.
That's thinning out our top pack here now, Stan.
Yeah,
the green's rising to the top here at the end of 12 laps to go.
Yeah, everybody's kind of settled back into single file. Everybody knows it's like, we're about to be 10 to go here. Let's just get organized. Let's get our plan together. Oh my gosh, Justin Mooney in the 23 goes around.
been a rough race for
hard
Dustin
crash.
Mooney. Like we're still green right now.
Yeah, he's off the racing surface, so if it stays that way.
The leader's coming into turn 1 now. Looks like he's back going again into turn 3.
He's going into the pits here. Really gentlemanly of Dustin Mooney to not bring out the yellow. The energy is building. The tension is building. People are going to start going for stuff here.
Oh, we can see Mooney up ahead. He's good.
He stayed out. He stayed out. Okay.
Try and nurse that car home, I guess.
Yeah, 10 to go here. Now, if you're in this lead pack, it's time. It's time to start figuring out who your partners are going to be, get formed up, and start pushing for the front here.
So it looks
Brock
like
Shirley's
Johnson,
in a really good spot.
Johnson and Moore looks like they've been working together a majority of the race here, Stan. And continue to work together. So I think it's going to be up to Olsen, Pereira, Shirley, Lanning to try and essentially form some kind of alliance to get together here, locked up to try and move around, because those top two look like they're in simpatico with each other here.
Yeah, James Johnson and Tyler Moore. I mean, we've been talking about the wrecks and about the action in the back of the pack all night, but it's gotta be mentioned that those guys have controlled this entire race. They've never been in any situation except for leading it. They've done a great job of managing the lanes, managing the draft, working together. It's going to be hard to get around them. Everybody behind them is going to have to try to work together to beat those two guys. So if they're going to do it, they need to start giving us a sign here that they're thinking about it, because right now it looks like it's going to be hard to beat those two guys.
So if you were at the back of this pack, Stan, at what point in time, what lap here in the remaining 8 would you start trying to make your run to the front? Would you try and get up there now and then hold on to it, or would you wait for maybe 2-3 laps to go?
You know, if I'm closer, no, I mean, I think you got to go now. I think at this point, because I mean, you see, even when you get a good organized top lane, when we were watching the 54 work his way up through the field earlier, it took 3 or 4 laps for him to get up there, you know, even with a really good pusher. So if you're back there about 6, 7, 8 cars back, you need to go now. And if you're closer to the lead, if you're Tyler Olsen or Jonathan Pereira here at the front, I mean, the more time you wait, the more time you take to start making moves, the more likely it is that a move is going to get made on you. So it's time to go here at 6 to go. Leader's coming up on a lap car here.
Yeah, it looks like the 13.
Looks like Travis
Plato.
Yeah, Travis Plato in the 111. He's going high. Very, very gentlemanly, high levels of courtesy out of Travis Plato there.
That's what we'd like to see. All our drivers made it through, but
that should be the last.
We're about half the cars we started out with, though.
Yeah, that should be the last lapper that they encounter. But we're 5 to go here. If people are going to start making moves for the front, they need to start doing it now, because you're not going to be able to come from 4th to the lead in one corner. You got to start building that momentum now, and you really need to get up there and get Dalton Moore off of James Johnson's bumper, because Dalton Moore is able to just push him. Coming to 4 to go, you really need to go side draft Dalton Moore if you're going to get something done here.
Yeah, they haven't been able to separate them all race, Stan, so it's now end game for them to try and do it. But who are you thinking you might see a run out of here? I know Tyler Olsen's going to be a mainstay up at the front here. Pereira on those older tires has still managed to stay up into 4th place.
Yeah, I mean, Pereira's going to have a hard time making anything happen with the old tires. 3 to go here at the line. I think Brock Shirley's probably in the best spot here. If he can create the run, if he can push the cars ahead of him up to the back bumper of Dalton Moore, as we get a big run down the back here, Pereira's pushing Olsen, who just doesn't take the run. He lifts into he might be waiting till closer to time. I mean, you might be waiting if he's pretty confident he can draft up to him and side draft him. But we're 2 to go here right now. I mean, it's time. It's time to go.
A little bit of contact there between NEXUS and I believe that was Harris. Both of them were able to keep it on track, but as you mentioned, 2 to go, Stan. Is this the move now from Olsen, or
I mean, he just doesn't have the momentum to get there now. Everybody's just, we have got to get a run going here, guys. Something. Now we're getting side drafted for like 6th. White flag. Last lap of the race here. The time is now. Olsen getting a little run here into 1 as we're starting to catch a lapper. I don't know. It's going to be, I don't see how we're going to do this here.
Olsen showed the nose to the outside, but he's got nobody to go with him.
James Johnson back down to the bottom here. Dalton Moore's trying to get there. Pereira's pushing. No moves were made, and not an attempt was made to win the race. Good win for James Johnson. I mean, he and Dalton Moore both controlled the whole race, and great work out of those guys. I just can't believe that one of the stronger cars didn't go for something there. That was surprising to me that nobody went for it.
Yeah, I think it was maybe like that might have been just all Olsen had. He didn't seem to have the drafting partner that Johnson had with Moore, where the two of them basically worked together all race. He didn't seem to build up any kind of cooperative with any of the other drivers here, Stan, and where we saw Moore and Johnson got that early on, and they were able to take it to the end.
Yeah, I mean, for me at super speedways, at least, if I feel like I'm not getting the help I need from behind, if they can't get to me, then you got to go back to them sometimes, you know? I mean, if you can get the car hooked up to your bumper, you're going to go faster. If they can't get to you, you might have to go to them. That could have helped, but that was just a really good performance out of Johnson and Moore there. And really wish that we could have seen somebody take it to him there in the closing laps, but just never really saw the run develop.
Looks like we got our winner, James Johnson, into the booth. James, congratulations on that one. We were just talking before you joined in. Looked like you and Dalton Moore really worked together all throughout the race. Two of you were able to kind of stay linked up, and Olsen and Pereira weren't able to get a run at the end there to try and move around you.
Yeah, I want to shout out Dalton. Very much appreciate him. We were in a Discord. We were talking the whole race. We had everything planned out. We were just cruising. We knew we didn't want to be in the back. That's why we pitted a little bit later than everybody else. Just wanted to stay away from people. And yeah, the race fell to us. As I joined in, I overheard, and I completely agree. No one took it to us. No one wanted to get a run on us, and we were ready, but no one brought it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were controlling pretty much the entire race. It was either Dalton or you in the lead. I think it ended up being you leading the majority of the laps. But that's definitely what I saw. It just seemed like, I mean, clearly you know how this works. You won the dang race. I mean, if you can get a car right to your bumper, then you're just flying. And it just seemed like there was a bubble that nobody could break through behind you guys. You guys were nose to tail doing it perfectly. And except for a couple of times in the middle of the race, it just seemed like everybody was just stuck with about a car length or a half car length between them and couldn't build up any momentum on you.
Well, I correct me if I'm wrong. I believe me and Dalton, and I think there was another person, I forgot his name. We were the only ones to actually make a pass on the outside, at least for the lead, because no one even got up to me and Dalton. I think maybe one time, but we were fine. I love super speedway racing. I've been doing this for a long time. God, Atlanta is probably the hardest one to pass out of all of them, in my opinion, and it kind of showed. It's just so hard to get the outside to work here.
Yeah, like you said, there were definitely, I mean, you guys made it work, and we were watching Yusuf Ghali in the 54 car, that Spirit Airlines car. He was killing everybody on the outside in the middle of the race, but he wasn't there at the end to do anything. So you guys were pretty uncontested, which, you know, if you're watching, it might not be the most exciting thing, but if you're one of those two guys that are leading the race, then you guys were probably loving it. So
yeah, I know most people are counting down the laps, like, oh, can this be over? I was like, look, come on, let's go. I need these laps to go down. It was very intense. It's my first win the season in this league. I had a couple slip through my hands, so I really wanted it. Should have won Daytona, got wrecked out. So I was just hoping nobody did that. I wasn't worried with Dalton doing it. It was but luckily honestly that lap car in front of me kind of probably won me the race because Dalton couldn't get a run on me to do anything, and even who knows then if anyone went with him. But I'm just so happy with myself, and like I said, I appreciate Dalton with everything.
Yeah, we could tell he was a big help, and I mean, you earned it, man. You deserve it. You were controlling the race and doing everything right. And if you had done something wrong, you know how it is here. You would have just got swallowed up. So great job. You deserved it.
Now, next week he's head to Homestead. James, how are you feeling about your chances at Homestead bringing back-to-back wins?
It should be 3-3. I should have won. I really should have won last week. But Homestead, I'm very excited for Homestead. I'm from Florida, so I've actually been to that track before. So I really appreciate and love that track a lot. I really love a track where you kind of got to drive it on the high line to get momentum and speed. Outside of probably that and probably Charlotte's the track I'm the most looking forward on their schedule, but Homestead is right there. I love Homestead. It's gonna be a blast, and I love my chances there. I'll look to be in the fight there.
Now I just popped up the point standings here. I was able to input them in while the race was going. I stole them off Discord. It looks like you came into this one in 7th place. You're obviously going to pick up a few points there, but it looks like Dalton Moore was just ahead of you. So what do you think your chances are to kind of reel back in Jack Humbert? We saw that he kind of fell back a little bit. It took the late pit strategy. His tires were fairly worn towards the end. He wasn't able to move his way up, but a couple of drivers up in the top of the standings, you're going to actually move up ahead. So you feeling comfortable in your chance of taking the championship home?
I do. I really like my chances. I believe there's 5 more races left, including Homestead. And I don't, I don't think I would hope to be maybe 30 or 20, not 20, but 30 or 40 points out. Just slowly chip and chip. Hopefully everything works out in personal where I can attend every race. Other than that, I truly believe I'm a threat. I know some people will probably say Jack's #1 threat. So be it. But there's a reason why I'm James Johnson. There's a reason why there's a 48. I'm Jimmy Johnson. I gotta go, and I gotta get that championship.
Love it.
There's something to be said about being the underdog versus the favorite, James. So best of luck to you the rest of the season. I'm not sure if we'll be back or not. We appreciate Christopher Toppings for inviting us in and covering the broadcast here. So hopefully all of you enjoy it. And by all means, best of luck to you next week, James.
Do me one favor. And next broadcast, call me Jimmy, not James.
All right, you got it. Great.
You got it. All right.
Yeah, make it even better. Throw a Jimmy Johnson paint job on the car for us too, as well, and we'll play right into it for you.
Yeah, we were seeing an Aussie car. What were we supposed to be?
No, it was supposed to be a Jimmy Johnson. I thought I joined last minute, so because obviously it's Atlanta, no need to practice. I thought I had a nice Jimmy. It was all right. I'm gonna work on that. We'll make sure we have an actual Jimmy next week. I promise that.
We're looking forward to it.
Best of luck next week, James. Looks like we got Scotty Lanning in here. We're gonna give a little chat to him too as well while he's in here.
Yeah, of course. And lastly, thank you all for calling the race. I really appreciate it.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you, man. Great job. Appreciate you.
All right, y'all have a good one.
See you, buddy.
That was our winner, James Johnson. We got Scotty Lanning in here too as well. Scotty, you bring it home in 8th place. Fairly uneventful for you. Qualified in 7th, brought it home in 8th, but it looks like you were able to avoid a lot of the carnage out there. How did your race go from your side of things?
It could have been better. Pit road never was open when I needed to go in, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, it looked like there were a couple times too. For some reason, maybe you'll feel this way. I was watching you at times in the race, and it's like every time you tried to go to the outside, it looked like nobody wanted to go with you, and you just got hung out there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was kind of tough. If you didn't stay in the bottom lane, I mean, there was one time where the top lane was doing good, And I just stuck with the bottom because I figured it was going to roll back on us anyway, and it did. Bottom was the way to go.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It looked like just where you were. I was watching. It just seemed like there weren't ever a whole lot of good options. It's weird about pit road. I think when they changed the pit entry, it screwed something up in iRacing, because when you expect it to open when you pick up the pace car, it's like it takes an extra lap. And sometimes if you're far enough back, it'll close before you ever get there. So it's
Right.
just, I don't know. I don't know what it's doing, but I know what you're talking about. It's real annoying here when you're doing the officials and stuff. So
Yeah, it's usually open on 2 to go. When you're coming around with 2 to go, it's usually open. But tonight, it was not open on 2 to go, nary time.
So you head to Homestead next week, Scotty. How you feeling about your chances there? Did we lose him?
I don't know.
I'm not sure if we got your mic there, Scotty. Sounds like we're getting a whole bunch of feedback, but
Scotty, you okay, buddy?
looks like we lost his mic.
Yeah, I think we did.
He's lighting up, but we're not hearing anything from him there. So we'll
Great guy though. Great run. Bummer about pit road.
Nice finish for him. Running mid-pack most of the race and avoiding all that carnage is a feat in itself, because that seems to be where most of it was all throughout the night, Stan. But we'll take this moment to sign off. Looks like Scotty's mic has betrayed him. And again, we'll say if you enjoyed this race out there, hit that like, subscribe button, and hopefully we'll be back again next week for the rest of the season. For Stan Hammonds, I'm Rob Campbell. This has been Racer Nexus, and we'll see you later. Bye for now.
Shake and bake. See ya.
Shake and bake.